Alright, let's continue with lighting. And let's first have some basic questions like, why do we see actually light? How do we get, why do we need the light in the scene, and why do we need shadow and so forth? So, well, actually, we can't really see light. We only see light because other objects reflect the light. So, and imagine that there's a sun and there's rays coming out of the sun, and you don't see these rays, and it doesn't hit anything, and then you will never see that. You will never see that. So in order to see it, we need some object to reflect this light. And so why do we see light? Because there's an object to reflect it. And why don't we see light? Because there would be an absence of these objects. So why do we need then a light in the scene? Well, we need light in the scene to see the scene, but also to have atmosphere in the scene, to give emphasis on certain aspects in the scene, and maybe to even follow a certain path, like with level design, follow a certain path, like you want the viewer or the gamer to follow a certain flow. You designed that. Then, why do we need shadow? Of course, shadow, it's in the real world as well, but it's also gives us the opportunity to get this stuff out of the background, or out or from the ground itself, or makes more of an emphasis on it. Alright, let's continue and look at 3-point lighting. We're going to dive in that today. And 3-point lighting is used in commercials, photo shoots, and it's a way to really make an object stand out. So you want this detail to come out, you want it to get out of the background, you want some detail to be seen, you want to get some contrast and get it off the background. And of course, it's not just 3 lights, it's 3 points where there could be several lights clustered together for one or several objects. So how does that look like? So you have a key light, which is a small distance from the camera. So let's say here's the key light and here's the camera, for example, or here. So there's the key light, small distance from the camera, and it's focused on the object. So here's the object. Then there is a backlight or a fill light. So let's focus on the fill light, and it's contra from the camera, so like the opposite sides, like here. So in this case, for example, the key light is left low or right low, and the fill would be right high or right low, just contra of the key light. And the backlight is of course on the back, opposite of the camera. So if the camera would be here, it would be opposite, and it's behind the object to get the object a little bit off the background. And here you can see it a little bit again. So it's key light, fill light, and back, and here could be the camera. Here's another example of how that could look like. So here's the key light, so hard lit. So if you would only have this, way very harsh. It could be for some productions, it could be what you want. But it's still not off the background. It's very much in the background, and there is this the rim, which is actually the backlight, and gets it off the background, as you can see already. And then there is the fill light, which gives these harsh shadows, gets these harsh shadows away. Right. So that's nicely lit 3-point lighting. So how we do that in a scene in Maya? So what you would do in the second two, you would create a plane, you create 3 spheres, and make them different sizes so they could give shadow and so forth. And then we are going to create a key light, a fill light, and a backlight. And they have different intensity, so 0.6, 0.3, and 0.2. It could also be, because we're not going to dive in so much into the rendering, how the rendering is going today, so that you need to have 1 or 0.6, 0.3, and 0.2. We need to see that, but the main factor is that this has shadows. These are the shadows from the fill light in the backlight.